Hi, welcome back. This is Windersranger. Today I'm going to share a quick tip that a friend of mine passed along to me. I've seen these things before. I was a little skeptical about it. This friend of mine, he apparently uses them on all his vehicles, and his parents have some company vehicles. I think he uses them on those as well. And he pretty well talked me into it. And what this is I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong, a Fumoto Oil Drain Valve. What this does, you take the drain plug out of your oil pan and you replace it with this. This screws up inside the oil pan. There's a little nipple on the bottom where you can attach a small hose to or something like that to drain the oil out. And it's got a lever on the side. You just remove the clip, pull the lever down, and this hasn't been used yet. And open the drain valve up, and it lets the oil out. When you're done, you close it and you put the little clip back in. I guess my skepticism was on a couple of issues. One, the clip. You know, how good is that clip? Is that clip gonna vibrate out of there and fall off and run the risk of losing the clip and having the valve open up while you're going down the road and lose all your oil? Maybe. You know, that clip's not really that great. I have seen these with a metal, like a metal clamp, a wire clamp that goes around as just a pinch clamp, and that goes on in such a way to hold that clip, that valve in place. When I ordered this, I didn't see those. Otherwise, I would have ordered that with it. I still have to go back in and try to find that to get that as well. A little added insurance. I don't think that even with that pinch clip, I don't think that would open up. I'm pretty sure you'd be okay. Unless you do a lot of off-roading or something like that and you're driving through brush that's, you know, I guess it would be relative to the height clearance of your vehicle. In my case, I've got a 1-ton Dodge. So my ground clearance is probably in the neighborhood of like 12 inches, 12 to 14 inches, maybe 18 inches or something like that. I don't know, you know, measuring to the frame or where this would hang down at. The other issue that I had was, and I brought this up to my friend, you know, of course, when you put this in the oil pan, are you going to knock that off if you run into something? If you do happen to go off-road. I don't go off-road all that often, but on occasion I do. There have been times I've had to drive off-road for one reason or another. Number one, my drain plug on my oil pan is right on the bottom. I've seen others where the oil pan comes down and then at 90s and then the bottom of the pan. And as it turns that corner, some drain plugs are actually on the back of the pan above the bottom of the pan. That would be a non-issue. In my case, this is going to hang down underneath the pan. Again, I think that the chances of the only clearance you're really going to have is from that crush washer to the nipple. So what are you talking? An inch, inch and a half, inch and a quarter maybe? I don't think that's really going to be a problem. I'm pretty sure that I've got some cross members in front of and behind my oil pan that are going to hang down at least half the distance of this. So there may still be, you know, a quarter inch or so, half inch sticking down. I would have a clearance issue. I really don't think that's going to be a problem. Number one, I think you would have to really be driving pretty fast off-road to have that be a problem and hit something that's going to be pretty big to knock that off. In talking with this friend of mine, he pretty well convinced me that I'll give it a try. The only other issue, the third issue that I can see, most of your drain plugs in an oil pan have a magnet on top of the drain plug. So any kind of metal shavings that come down through the engine, if there happens to be any, which hopefully there's not, because if there is, you're liable to have other issues. But almost all engines over time will generate a shaving or two, you know, just minuscule shavings or something makes it in there or whatever. They'll collect in the bottom of your oil pan and they'll stick to that magnet. Some vehicles that I've had in the past, I've noticed very, very minute shavings, you know, come up. You can wipe them off with your finger off the plug, stick the plug back in. I've had other vehicles, this vehicle included, I don't think I've had any shavings on the drain plug. I don't remember seeing any. You know, a lot of times, you know, the way when I take the plug out, it's covered in oil and you wipe it off. So I may be wiping those off before I even see them, but pretty sure I haven't found any. So I don't think that's really going to be a problem. But, as you can see, there's no magnet in here. So if there's something that happens to make it in the oil, there's not going to be anything on this to collect it. Other than, you know, I guess depends on how far up in that pan this goes. But if they get down inside that ball, I guess they would rest in there until you open it up and clean it out. Again, I don't think it's going to be a big issue. We'll find out. I plan on using it. I haven't done the oil change yet. The weather's been pretty cold and not really suitable for wanting to crawl around on the ground underneath the truck. So I'm going to wait for the weather to warm up just a bit before I decide to put this on. I haven't decided if I'm going to make a video actually putting it on or not. It's pretty standard. Take the plug out, drain the oil out, put this in, done. Changing the filter, you know, that's again relative to every vehicle. Each vehicle is going to have the filter in a different location. You know, I guess there may be some folks out there that this is a first time deal, you know, changing oil for them, younger fellows or something like that. You know, there was a first time for me when I changed oil. If you would like to see me do a video on that, I would be happy to oblige, and I'll set everything up and I'll do a video on changing oil. I did do a video on changing the fuel filter on this truck, which is a completely different process, but feel free to go back through the history and find that video if you'd like to watch it. So if you'd like to see a video on that, let me know and I'll put one together. On the literature that this came with, this is a shipping label. It's got my address on the other side, so we're not going to flip that over. And this little tag, Fumoto Oil Drain Valve. It says always tighten using the body of the valve, never use the hex head on the nipple. In other words, this little hex head that goes around between the body and the nipple, so they're saying don't use that to tighten it down. They're saying to take a big wrench, that thing is basically square, and just put it on one side and the other and use that to tighten this down so you don't screw it up. Make sure the valve's closed before installing. For torque ranges and other questions, please visit their frequently asked questions page on their website, and it gives their website down here on the bottom, FumotoOilDrainValve.com. I purchased this on Amazon. You can get them on Amazon. The selection on Amazon is kind of hit or miss. You probably would have to go and do a Google search or go to their website to find the model number of valve that you would need for your vehicle. And then once you get that model number, either order it through them or go to Amazon and get it. In any case, we'll see how it does. And if you'd like to see another video on how to put it in, hit me up, let me know, and I'll make a video on that and we'll post that separately. As always, thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you would, subscribe, and there'll be more videos to come. Thanks for watching.